Let's get that center. And then let's get knight c3. Development. d6 with c5 or e5. If you're going to fiend kettle this bishop, know the two different pawn breaks to look forward to. c5 and e5. Both of which strike at the d4 pawn. Bishop out. Sensing that this is the direction black should be going in, I want to reinforce the d4 pawn. You see how that just follows logically right there? Knowing what it is black wants to do might help you know what white should be doing in response. f3. No, why go f3? f3 is played when the knight is threatening to play here. There's no need to do it right now. I'm assuming knight here, but until it's played, I'm not going to do that. So instead, I'm lining up for an eventual dark square bishop exchange. I'm also preparing to maybe queenside castle. And what else? What's the scoop? Okay, less than what? Well, I might have a change of plans here. Yeah, I have a change of plans here. I'm going to go with f4. We're seeing right there, with just these last two moves by me, by the white side, a reason for retaining flexibility with the moves that you run with. If I had run with f3 and then saw e5 and then played f4, that's wasting a move. But queen d2 is purposeful for this diagonal, for queenside castling, and I retained that flexibility with my f-pawn. This is something I am completely welcome to. That bishop, you could say a bishop held in your hand is worth 3 points, but in given positions it's maybe worth more or less. And if you're going to run with a kingside fianchetto, that bishop is no longer worth 3. It's worth more than 3. Let's just say it's worth 4 points. So really what just happened there is 4 points took 3, and I recaptured. Positionally, and maybe I'm up like a 0.1 or something. Or no, that was a stupid number to be throwing out. I think that it's a good exchange instead of attaching that type of value to the pieces. It's very important if you're going to go with that fianchetto setup to hang on to them, because you weaken these squares. If as soon as you do g6, you're weakening those two. And now he's no longer around to watch over them. So it's the black queen who now has to be watching out for, let's say, f6. At any moment, I could run with, let's say, e5 and then throw my knight here and look to play to f6. And that could be brutal. It's castle first. And this is what I have up my sleeve. e5 followed up with a knight to one of these two squares. Really just eyeing f6. Now what? Alright, let's go here with, I guess we're going to be seeing b5. So if I'm playing bishop here, I'm kind of just walking right into this expansion on the queen side. I don't really want to allow that. I think pawn push is the correct move. This knight is close to being trapped. I recapture with the pawn because I want to overtake this f6 square. This knight cannot move. And I think I just play where? If I play here, there's a knight retreat. But I'll have something for that. Queen here, there's knight here. Actually, it's a little bit annoying. Oh, wait, queen here. Hang on. What are my options? Queen here. I don't like knight g4 and the threat of a fork. Queen here stops knight there. Queen here forces knight h5, as otherwise knight back I just get the queen. Queen here, knight h5. And then maybe I come over to this square and then get ready for g4 or something. I don't know. Or queen here and then h6. Ah, that's the right idea. I was focused on f6, but also h6 is a weak square. So let me do this. Queen f4, and now in response to knight h5, I play queen h6, with the follow-up being knight g5. I'm glad I took pause in that position right there. I wanted to have a good response to that knight move. So now my queen is in that weakened square that happens that, well, it's weakened now because of the dark square bishops being off. Pawn push allows a bishop deployment with check. This knight is still pinned. I think this pawn needs to move. Okay, now I could insert a check or even just push right away. I'm going to insert a check first. Kick that king away to h8, and now this rook needs a babysitter. If I just push, and then this is going to be white just being up a minor piece now. b5, I could just ignore it. b5, I could just take here, or maybe just play to d5. I have my choice. Yeah, this is tough. I think the beginning of black going wrong was the dark square bishop exchange. So I could play here. I could take the knight and try to get this, but after I take the knight, the bishop recaptures and the rooks are connected. I could throw this in first. I'll play here. Looking for just pawn takes followed by rook here. This knight can't move. I get the rook. It still can't move. It's no longer pinned to the queen, but it's just, well, it's pinned in the sense where it has a defensive role. It really just can't move because it has to watch over the rook. Okay, the queen's come off now. I did see that. But now I'm actually getting two minor pieces. One pig on the 7th, looking for another. Alright, let's just go here. If I take, I'm helping that rook come to life. Let's get rid of pieces here. Knight takes, bishop takes. Keep that bishop right there. I'm just looking for a home for my minor pieces. Pawn push. Weasel the knight around to this square maybe. Just protect everything. Okay. My opponent's typing good game. Good game. Let me go back, flip the board, and see where there's an improvement. Right here. Here's one thing. Your knight might want to play here. Keep the options open. Knight f6 is probably most common and best. Knight f6, eyeing g4, getting ready to castle. Consider just knight f6, and there might be knight c6 with e5 as well. This is the better move to be running with. At the very least right here, capturing on this square, if you do go with that capture, don't follow up with the bishop recapture. You need to preserve this dark square bishop. He's too important to give up so early on. Not a good thing to run with. So keep that in mind, because I think that is what led to the problems in the game. It was just not having your dark square bishop around. I was able to pounce on these f6 squares or h6 squares. Really, it turned out to be the h6 square, but there could have been possibilities for knight landing on f6 somewhere along the way, and that could have been a problem. So keep that in mind. This guy, very valuable if you're going to fiend kettle your bishop. where your king is likely to be castled, you're going to want to hang on to him.